Good morning. It is so quiet and peaceful here. We are in one of the most remote places, up against the mountains, a pristine lake right behind us. It's going to be hard to pry ourselves away from this place. This is, every day we stay here, we feel like we want to stay here longer. It's got a feeling about it. I don't know how to describe, but anyway, if you can ever get out here to Chilko Lake, there's a bunch of little provincial parks and they're just self-serve. There's nobody here. You know, they have a couple of picnic tables, fire pits, and that's about it. You just fill out a form and park wherever you want. We just happen to be right on the lake. It's one of the most ideal camp spots, but we could stay here for a month, but we've got to carry on. We're on the Great Canadian Overland Adventure and we have thousands of kilometers ahead of us. So we're going to start making our way east, try to avoid some of the fires that are in the northern part of BC. We're going to take you with us. Big old black bear just ran across the road. They just disappear like ghosts into the forest. You get a quick glimpse of them and they're gone.
By the time you pull up the camera, it's like they're already like...
Did you catch it a little bit?
Yeah, I got a little bit of it. So
he was kind enough to come out on the road and let us see him.
yeah, I thought he was going to go to the right, and then he turned last minute across the road. So
Yeah.
hopefully you guys got to see that.
Every once in a while along this trail, we'll see a herd of wild horses. This is a huge herd right here. And it's neat every once in a while to turn off the truck, just pull over. If you're doing this overland route, pull over, turn off your vehicle and just listen to the absolute silence out here. It's pretty amazing. It just gives you a feeling of complete and utter remoteness.
Beautiful horses.
Yeah. On the pavement for a while, so we're going to air back up. So we're heading east, but from this spot, if you go west about 3.5 hours, you can get out to Bella Coola, which is, it's on our list, but not for this trip. Bella Coola is a really neat town right on the ocean, on an inlet, and it's I think what we're going to do is we're going to visit it, but on our way back from Alaska. And if we get up to Alaska, we'll take the ferry route back to Bellingham, And along the way they stop at some of these villages, including Bellicula, so that's the plan. So the section north of Williams Lake that kind of works its way north and east of the Trans-Canada Adventure Trail has a lot of active fires going on right now. In fact, there was one in town. We just went through town and got some groceries in Williams Lake, and there were helicopters and water bombers had just put out a fire. They lost a building right on the edge of town, so it looks like they had that one under control. But just looking at Onyx here, there's a lot of fires in that area. So we're heading south and then we'll go east through the Okanagan area. We'll be passing Kamloops, but a little north of there. We're going to make our way to the east side of BC now and explore some of the backcountry there. We're still a good 11-12 hours drive from there, so we won't get to that area until tomorrow night probably. We're just cruising down the road and heading east, but we saw a sign at the last minute that says Bridge Lake Ice Caves. That sounds interesting, so we swung around and we're going to go in there and see what we find.
I have no idea what to think.
I don't know. The ice caves have no ice. I guess down there there's ice, way at the bottom.
It looks like people climb down in there.
Yeah.
Kind of neat though. Like
Yeah.
right on the lake. You hear the wind? Oh, that's how people get down.
You can feel the cool air from down there. I think I can see a little bit, but it's covered in dirt. Makes me think of Dan and Pete, Caroline and Matt. Well, these are the ice caves. Way down at the bottom of those, there's ice, and pretty much ice and a bit of snow all year. And the pioneers back in the day would come and fill their ice boxes in the middle of the summer, so that's kind of handy. We just got a chance to stretch our legs. It's about a kilometer hike in or less, and or in and back, so we're gonna hike on out and get back in the truck and carry on down the road. But when you're an overlander and you're putting in a lot of miles on the road some days, nothing better than a quick hike to get the blood flowing again.
Well, that was fun. Very nice to stretch. Back on the road.
Back on the road, heading east. Yeah, you can see a lot of smoke now. It's kind of obscuring the view, even though behind those layers of smoke there's a huge mountain with snow on it still. I think there's a fire pretty close to here, so we're gonna scoot on through. As you can see, the white misty smoke, which is blown in from elsewhere, but then there's a big cloud of dark smoke on top of that mountain, which looks like an active fire. So hopefully they get these all under control. They have. We've seen a lot of helicopters and water bombers doing their thing. So yeah, it's fire season. So we are heading down a Forest Service road, and just looking on the Onyx app, there appears to be a fire up ahead. There's not a lot of information on it, and I'm assuming if there's an active fire close to the road, there should be some kind of fire service to turn us around. So we'll just proceed in the meantime.
We didn't air down.
We didn't.
And we're at like highway pressure for sure. So now we're kind of feeling it. That was a big rock slide.
Yeah. That's why they say you can't come up here when it's raining. I guess because they had a fire go through, which makes the ground unstable, so then if they're getting lots of rain, it becomes very unstable, and we're perched way over top of the lake here.
What lake is that?
Adams. After a forest fire, the risk of mudslides increases because the burning of accumulated organic matter in the soil creates a water-repellent layer known as hydrophobicity. This layer prevents rain from soaking into the soil, leading to erosion and unstable slopes. As a result, mud flows and landslides can occur suddenly and move rapidly. The road we are on passes through an old burn area where much of the vegetation was destroyed and hasn't yet regrown. Carved into the side of a mountain high above Adams Lake, this road has been prone to landslides since the fire. Signage warns travelers not to stop along the way and not to traverse the road during rainy conditions. With no rain in the forecast, we decide to carry on through.
We're just outside of, what town was that?
Salmon Arm.
Salmon Arm?
Yeah.
Beautiful town. And beautiful
Lake.
lake and mountains along it. But we just can't really see them because of the smoke. But I could imagine how beautiful it is. But yeah, so we're looking for a camp spot. This one seemed on iOverlander to have a lot of people visiting it. Like it's kind of a popular spot, so I don't know. But there are a few of them. So... And then also, Pete and Dan just posted their videos, so we're hoping that it's not too treed so that we can watch them with our Starlink. So,
Adventure Guys and Dan Van Stralen. Links in the description.
so fingers crossed this is open because I am kind of tired and super hungry. And we bought tons of meat, so we have to cut it up tonight and bag it and find room in our little fridge. But yeah, check it out. So there was a, what do you call that? Like a side-by-side parked, and I think they were just looking at the sunset because it was quite spectacular in the camp spot. So hopefully they've moved on because the sun has kind of disappeared now and we can set up camp. We'll see. There's also another spot that's down the road, another 2.5 kilometers, and it's a trailhead, which is fine too because it's wide open. It doesn't have the view. Really, I don't care where we go tonight. So
this is just a one-night stop on our way east.
And I want to wake up super early tomorrow and then get on the road by 6. I think that'd be great. So
sounds good to me.
Fingers crossed they're gone. I don't see anyone. It's not the prettiest area camp, but the view is spectacular.
Yeah, overlooking the lake. It's basically just a pull out, like just on the side of a logging road. Hopefully it's not as steep as this, because there's no sleeping on an angle like this.
They did say you have to have rocks or something, and so a lot of people in the description said that they moved down to the trailhead and camped there because they were like, yeah, it's pretty, but
once it gets dark, yeah, you can't see it. We could maybe.
I'll probably be dreaming all night of like our brakes failing or something. I hate when that happens. Or you just wake up and you think you're moving.
Yeah.
Oh, never nice. I don't know, that one kind of sketches me out. Yeah, there's definitely people there, but watch for nails.
Yeah.
This looks like one of those spots people come up to hang out. Let's get out and then we'll decide, because I'm kind of liking the trailhead idea.
Yeah. Let's check it out.
It is a pretty view though. Wow. It is spectacular. You can see the mountains just... BC's insane with their mountains. Just everywhere you look. What a place. So we decided we're gonna go to the trailhead and camp there for tonight, because really we're not gonna be outside at all, and it's just a place to sleep and hit the road first thing in the morning. So this is a nice wide open flat spot.
Yeah, it should be good. Where do you want to be? Up here somewhere?
Doesn't matter. That's good.
I have to come up a bit in the front, but there shouldn't be any trouble finding rocks around here.
Can you get my window?
Yeah. After driving about 600 kilometers or 372 miles across central BC, it didn't take long for us to drift off to sleep, listening to the sound of the much welcomed rain gently falling outside.
What a really quiet spot last night, and it rained a little bit, which was really nice to hear, because I don't think on this trip we've had rain.
No, I don't think so.
So that was it was kind of really cozy.
And there's a bit less smoke this morning, so maybe that rain helped out the firefighters.
Yeah, hopefully. So now we're heading to Radium area, somewhere in and around there, and hopefully doing some laundry today, because yeah, I'm down to my last of everything. And we're gonna find some water because we ran out of water this morning. So
Radium Hot Springs is about 4 hours drive from here, so just to a good trip today.
what a cozy town.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you want brekkie here? Or no?
We should. It's such a cozy place. Look at that little cafe. Blondie's fresh coffee. Yeah, it looks like food, kind of more fast food.
Well, let's drive through the little town and then we can always come back to that place. Yeah, it's just a cool little town. I think it's called Sicamous. There's a fire that looks, probably at this point the grounds crews are just putting out the rest of it, although one section's still burning, but hopefully they get that under control. But it's right on the top end of that beautiful lake that we've been driving by for quite some time. We're just looking for maybe a place to eat, but if not, we'll just carry on down the road. But we love these little towns. Breakfast is served. We found a little place just before getting back on the highway, and it looks like a good place to eat breakfast. We'll show you inside.
Good morning. water and black coffee?
Sure.
So,
Take.
thanks. As we continue east along the Trans-Canada Highway towards Glacier National Park, we're surrounded by the steep mountains and narrow valleys that shape this breathtaking landscape. In the winter months, this area turns into a prime avalanche zone with an average snowpack of 3.5 meters or 11.5 feet at tree line, and total annual snowfall reaching up to 14 meters or 46 feet. Even higher elevations receive even more snow, making this one of Canada's snowiest regions. Parks Canada and the Canadian Armed Forces collaborate each winter using artillery to control and manage the avalanche risk. Additionally, 7 permanent concrete avalanche sheds protect motorists traveling through this stretch of the Trans-Canada Highway as it winds through Rogers Pass. Construction of this section of the highway began in 1956, and it was officially opened in July of 1962.
I need to buy a sticker for our door. Poor Pete. I always make him stop at all these information centers so I can get my stickers and patches. It probably costs more money than anything else on our trips.
It's a great way of remembering places, though. It's worth it.
I like it. It makes me happy. So let's go check out this one. Plus, history of the area you're driving through is always way better because then you have a more fuller understanding of what you're going through. The worst we learned on our first trip around was we kind of fly through places without learning the history of it, and then later you're like, oh my goodness, we were there and we didn't understand, the area we were in. So let's go check it out.
The Trans-Canada Highway is Canada's longest national road, stretching from Victoria, British Columbia to St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Spanning 7,821 kilometers, or 4,860 miles, it passes through all 10 provinces and links Canada's major cities. Built over some of the world's most challenging terrain, this monumental project took about 20 years to complete at a cost of around $1 billion. The highway opened up Glacier National Park and made it easier for families and friends across the country to visit one another. This ribbon of highway connected Canadians from coast to coast, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The completion of this remarkable achievement was recognized as an event of national historic significance. So if you're doing the cross-country tour of Canada, you don't want to miss coming through Glacier National Park and Rogers Pass, where we are right now. It's just such a spectacular piece of the Trans-Canada Highway, and there's over 100 glaciers in this park, and some are in full view here from the pass. Mountains in all directions, and a really neat history of when they built the Trans-Canada Highway. I guess they started, I think, in 1949, and it officially opened in 1962. But you'll see these cannons that were supplied by the Canadian Armed Forces worked in conjunction with the highway department here to bring up cannons in the winter and to try to pre-trigger avalanches. There's memorials of people that have died over the years because of the avalanches that would come through here. Very, very dangerous because of the steep mountains in all directions. So the armed forces would shoot those cannons up into the mountains and trigger avalanches, which they would then clear off the highway. So just a neat area with lots of history and absolutely spectacular scenery. tunnels. They're actually shelters for snow avalanches. They're in the winter where the area is very prone to avalanches. They built these coverings. Pretty neat.
There's one after another.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them here.
What an incredible pass this is. Just so many waterfalls, glaciers, and jagged, rough peaks. Quite amazing. I think one of these times we should meet the kids and then just book like a week or two and then just do all the hikes. As many as we can.
There's a spot here that we like along the river, and we're gonna pull in there and fill up with water and maybe camp. I don't know, but it's still really early. We could make some more headway, but it is a beautiful spot. Maybe we'll do lunch there and then decide. We've been here in the fall, and there's often salmon swimming in there.
So there is a campground or like a wreck site, right?
Yeah. You might have
Further, but I like the one that's over here. This one.
Yeah, it's just a dispersed free camping.
Hopefully,
Not using it for logging.
this camp spot always has insane sunsets every time we've been here. Just love places like this. During the day there's some logging trucks, and then after 5 it quiets down and it's just dead quiet after that.
We camped there with the kids in the fall where that van is camping right now. Beautiful spot, but like Carol said, this is our favorite. It's just outside of the park and outside of the wreck area, and it's right on the bend of the river. Let's see if there's any salmon. Probably early in the year for that.
This spot's kind of cozy. Yeah, maybe go get the truck. I like this. Last time the water was super clear because it was fall time, and you could see the fish spawning. Pretty special. I think we should stay here for the night or day, get caught up on videos. Is it pretty level? I wonder how cold the water is. Could go swimming. With the water, can we fill our water from here?
I think that'll reach. It's glacial water. This is probably cold, but refreshing.
Isn't that cool? That one's beautiful. We see these often when you arrive to a camp, and when the kids were young, they just loved it. And sometimes they would paint one and leave one. Whoever did this is fantastic. And this is where we found you. Beautiful. What a perfect spot. Alright, so we got all settled and we're just gonna go explore a little bit while the water's filling. There it is down there, and that should take about 45 minutes. But this is a beautiful spot. Can't wait for sunset. But time to put on some new stickers.
How long in advance have you prepared it? Or actually more?
Well, they said 30 minutes at least. 3 to 6 hours is really good. Or 12 hours. For this, if we were to marinate overnight, then
As striking as the scenery has been so far on our journey across Canada, it is the sounds of nature that truly soothe the soul. The gentle patter of rain, the soothing murmur of a babbling brook, leaves rustling in the breeze, and waves lapping against the shore of a mountain lake all create a calming and restful backdrop. As we settle in for the night, we review our maps and plan tomorrow's route. We'll be leaving the pavement behind to venture into the backcountry of eastern BC and making our way eastward into Alberta.